try and
play
everybody?
No, much more so like a regular season game. Now that we got the scrimmage under our belt from this past Saturday and played a lot of guys in that one, and Wednesday and Sunday will both be much more like and getting ready for Friday, or the next Friday against Carolina. Gary, it's with the number of practices that we've had, with the scrimmage that we had, an opportunity to evaluate guys and see them in different spots. This will be Wednesday and Sunday will both be much more geared toward getting ready for the Carolina game.
No. Can you share with us what you learned on Saturday's scrimmage? What can you tell us about?
Yeah. I guess a couple things that we talked about yesterday as a staff, and we went through, again this morning as a staff and watching some film. There were some great moments in terms of leadership from our older guys during that scrimmage. Clint had a really good day for the most part in terms of his leadership and his communication. But I talked with the four seniors and with Wyatt, and Hunter Rhodes and Wyatt both being injured, it's a little tougher. You're sitting on the end of the bench and you're not suited up. So there's not a lot you can do from a leadership and communication standpoint. Clint, Bennett, and Ted, when it comes to the leadership and the communication, that has to be there on every possession. And some of that is easier for some guys than others. But at the point where you're a fourth-year junior like Wyatt is, or you're a senior like the other four guys are, that has to be there on each and every possession. So there were moments where it was. There was too many times where it wasn't. From a competitive standpoint, and that's when I guess shift gears to the younger guys that are playing. Trying to help them understand that you're not going to do everything right, and you can't possibly take away everything that the other team wants to do on offense. You can't block a three-point shot and stop them from driving it to the basket and do this and do that. We have a certain way that we want to play defense, and we need to work to get on the same page to do that. That takes a little bit of time, but competitively, we need to work and get those younger guys so they're competing on every possession. So aside from the basketball part, some more leadership and communication from our older guys, and then a better competitive spirit from our younger guys. And they're being slowed down a little bit because they're learning so much. Those two things would be at the front of the list. From a basketball standpoint, offensively, this team has done a good job of sharing the ball. And we've got a lot of things to figure out with our offense, but it's a very unselfish group, and they've done a good job of moving the ball and sharing the ball. That's always a good place to start. Defensively, just simply being in position to defend. We went for far too many shot fakes, pass fakes, you name it. And South Dakota State has got a nice team. Their power forward and their center are both guys that can make threes, both guys that can handle the ball, both guys that can use a ball screen, both guys that can pass. There aren't very many teams in the country where the center and the power forward are doing all that stuff. So there were some challenges there that we don't see at practice with the group we have, and you just don't see it very often throughout the course of your season. So we got caught going for shot fakes and jumping in passing lanes and guys beating us off the dribble and getting turned around. And so we've got a lot of work to do in terms of just get yourself in position to guard and stay in front of the basketball and then to block out. And, it sounds pretty simple when I hear myself say it, now or in the film room or on the court, but when you're a freshman or you're a sophomore or you're playing against highly skilled guys at those positions in particular, and then a group of guards that can kind of shoot it and kind of handle it, it's not as easy when the action is going. So we've got to get the guys to understand that you can't do everything. We need to work hard to get in position and stay in position and make it hard for the other team instead of trying to take everything away from the other team.
Was that something you had seen by happening in practice, or you think it was maybe a result of seeing a different colored jersey?
Yeah, not as much in practice because we don't have that same kind of lineup. What South Dakota State has with the guy they're playing at center and the guy they've got at the power forward spot. There aren't many teams with guys, as I described, two guys like that. So now you've got more of the floor to cover. You just got more things to do defensively because of who those two guys are. But in saying that, it still comes back to just get in position to guard and stay in position to guard and then block them out.
in the coming weeks, and just how confident are you that he's going to be ready to go for the